Hello,
Hello.
hello, hello. Good morning and welcome to our weekly podcast episode. Yes, this is our Between Tapas and Tea. My name is Rose and this is my friend Jim from Spain, Tea, Rose from the UK. And we are both aspiring creatives and content creators, just figuring things out, making things, and just trying not to spiral and sharing the real truth and genuine side of everything.
Yes, that's true. And this podcast is part accountability, part therapy, part existential chismes. No, we wanted a space that we could talk about the creative process, the immigrant life, and everything in between. So, Rose,
So,
what episode are we in?
well, for today, we're going to talk about Pilit or Gusto, and that is about creating without pressure. So, as a quick definition for our westernized or audience, so pilit is like being forced.
Mhm.
That's one word in Tagalog. That's the equivalent of that. And gusto is like just want, not
Mhm.
being forced.
Yeah.
So we're trying to cover those contradicting words
Mhm.
in this episode, and hope you guys will tune in.
Yes.
Okay.
So we have many things to talk about, and we're sure that you'll relate with many of the stories that we'll be talking about. So the question is, have you ever forced yourself to do something creative and it totally flopped? So a question for the both of us, no?
Yeah, I think you're really correct. One major experience that I can think that strongly resonates that question is when I had my podcast before. I know I love to talk. That it's just my personality. I love to talk. I'm a big talker, but it depends on the crowd. It
Yeah.
depends on the person I am with. And then because I'm trying to be perfect, I'm trying to put this ideal kind of not my own standard of perfection to upload the episode. I tend to like lose my thought process in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes I ended up like, for example, 20 minutes I was already recording. And
Mm-hmm.
because I just realized I was losing my thought process, I felt off and I just decided to delete the recording instead. And back then, I think I wasn't been equipped enough with the editing style and tools. So I thought if after 25 minutes I felt off, I don't feel like continuing anymore, I will just delete everything instead of just keeping it and then having.
Could you talk more about this podcast? Maybe why did you start the podcast? For how long did you do it? And when did you realize that you have to stop it? And what was the reason that made you stop it? So all connected
Fusion
questions.
Flash? Well, I think Fusion for Passion, when I started it before, I was just aiming that it will be my online journal.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was enjoying it during the first time because I'm not pleasing anyone else. I don't care if someone listens because that's my goal. And then apparently, in the middle of it, I felt quite pressured
Mm-hmm.
because I think that's during the time wherein a lot of podcasts are rising and booming in the Philippines and everyone are being so creative. I felt pressured that okay, I'm doing this podcast. They're doing great. Why can't I? So I tried to meet their level. I
Yeah.
tried to please
My
the
God.
listeners that I'm having. So I tried my very best, like to come up into that standards. I lose the part of enjoyment that was compromised. And later on, I don't feel like recording anymore because I'm not enjoying
Yeah.
sharing or talking just by myself in the podcast. And I think that kills what I was enjoying before. So, yeah, you're right. I mean, that's one of my failures before. I wasn't able to find the balance between pilit and gusto. I I rely more on being pilit. So, yeah, that was on my end. What happened to your channel before anyway?
You know what? You touched on like a very specific struggle. I think I also had that. Like I told you, I created a channel to document my Ironman journey. So I wanted to do the Ironman. So I was training in cycling, swimming, and running. And I
Okay, so
guess what happened?
it is a
Yes.
fitness journey.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, okay. Ironman challenge.
So
Okay.
what basically happened was I got so focused on getting the views,
Mm.
um, getting the subscribers. So I benchmarked the top creators in my niche. So I tried to copy them, no? So I tried to copy most of them that like you, like I forgot like I'm doing this for myself. No, I forgot like the stuff that makes me happy when I started doing it. So I guess I lost myself in the process because I was trying, like what you said, to keep up with them. I was trying to like make it to their standards. But looking back, I realized some of these people, they have the resources and I didn't have as much resources as they did. Looking back, I was just frustrated that I wasn't at their level. But now I know that I have to like listen to myself, to my inner voice. It's nice to think about the potential audience in mind. But if you lose yourself in the process, it's gonna burn you out sooner or
Yeah.
later. That's what happened.
Yeah. And I think in both of our experiences, what we want to do this time around differently from
Yeah.
how it happened before is we just want to enjoy it
Yeah.
regardless of other people's or other content creators' standards.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we will strive to learn, to improve our skills. However, we will not push ourselves like to please other people. We will just keep our pacing of growth
Mm-hmm.
steady, but still enjoying the journey. I think I'm really excited about that because as an accountability partner, will help us being on the track because to be honest, it took me a lot of bad experiences to realize that the cliche statement of no man is an island,
Mm-hmm.
it's true.
That is true, no?
I was a victim as well before that. I keep on saying, no, it's not true. I can just be myself.
Mhm.
No, you really
And
need someone.
exactly, eh? Aside from needing someone, I think in relation to that, I think it's also important to realize that we are very unique. We can
Yes.
try to like mimic them or emulate them, but it's our uniqueness that if we
Very
embrace,
good word.
that makes us
Emulate.
through, no, people as creators. So now like to me this is also like an exercise to embrace the parts of me that I tried to hide before, that I tried to like change. But looking back, some of them, like they're really my strengths, no? So I'm really happy that we're doing this. So yeah. So how
That's right.
about today? How about today? Like were we Pilit or Gusto when we hit record today? What do you think?
Well, to be honest, a real this is a raw sharing now.
Yeah, yeah.
We are recording this episode the day after we recorded the
Yeah.
previous one. That's an honest sharing for everyone knowledge. And the reason why we are doing this right now is because there are some problems or conflicts in our schedule during the
Yeah.
next weeks.
I'll be
So
going on a holiday for 2 weeks, no?
yes,
We
so we
both,
should
we
be
both
fine.
agree that holidays are very important.
Yeah.
Yes.
And when you're in a holiday, savor the moment. Do not do anything else. Just do it for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, we agreed, we both agreed that, okay, we'll do the recording in advance and then we'll upload them weekly because we still have the momentum. And I
Yeah.
know sometimes we wait for the right momentum to do stuff, and sometimes we call it want. But I know for a fact that given that we recorded yesterday and then today we're talking again here, sometimes it kind of feel like it's pilit, it's being forced because we're just trying to keep up with the weekly uploads. However, I think that is the balance. If you will agree with me, we're trying to balance the
Mm-hmm.
pilit and the gusto
Mm-hmm.
because we're trying to be consistent as much as possible,
Yeah.
not to please everyone, but to see our own progress
Mm-hmm.
as an aspiring content creators. So I think, to be honest, we are starting the balance of pilit
Mm-hmm.
and gusto
Mm-hmm.
because today, right now, it's 9:43 here in England. It's 10:43 there in Spain. So we woke up earlier than the usual, most especially me. So basically, we tried to fight with our own self indulgement of
Mm-hmm.
sleeping more. So yeah, I think we we did a great job in balancing it. What do you
That's
think?
true. And I think, our topic is really a good fit for what we're talking right now because I think there's also like a good side to Pilit. And there's a bad
Yeah.
side to eh. So for
Yes.
example, like when it comes to gusto or want, before I want to make it perfect. I want to make my work worthy. So some of the people that I've talked to, they say when it comes to content creation, worthiness is a myth. You don't need to feel worthy just to post your content. So now you have to make peel it, or you have to force yourself through discipline, through consistency, through showing up whenever you need to. So
Yeah.
that's the
Even if
good.
you don't feel to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I think that's like both sides, like you said, there's a delicate balance that we have to maintain. Both sides have their good and bad parts, no?
Mhm.
So I think that's one of the things that I'm learning as we're doing this. Yeah.
Oh, I really love those words that you put into the way you summarize them. It's really powerful. Like what we mentioned earlier, showing up during the time that you don't feel to. I mean, not
Mhm.
just in content creation, but in life generally. I mean, that's the most difficult way, I mean, situation of showing up when you just don't feel to because you just don't want to do it. But
Yeah.
if you have this goal and you know that this goal will make you happy,
Mhm.
you will need to find the courage even if you don't want to.
Yeah, that is true. Were there any instances that you didn't want to show up, but you just showed up and you realized like the benefits of it? So I think me, I could start. I
Go on.
have.
I'm really excited to hear this.
For me, it was with my fitness journey. So when I started to do my Ironman doc journey channel, it just started from running, and it was just. I think I was sort of forced because I wanted to hang out with a friend, and she can only hang out like through running. So I was
Really? That's weird.
run. Yeah, yeah, because she was busy, she was doing her master, she has her job and everything. So we have to like find a specific thing that we could do together. And before I was already running, but I gave up running for like 4 or 5 years. And then, just that hangout, I was forced to run with her, I think for 15 kilometers. And like after that, it made me remember the feeling, how good it is to run, the runner's high. So
Yeah.
after that, like she saw me on Strava, and she was like, "Oh, Jim, you're still running?" And I'm like, "Yes, my body is like craving again for that runner's high." So it started with that, no? Like I dread, like when we were planning it, I was dreading it. But I'm like, she's moving abroad. It might be years before we could hang out again. So I had to like force myself. I had to show up then, but I'm happy that I did it because after that I ran 5 half marathons, and then I took up swimming, I took up cycling. So there's sort of like a snowball effect to it,
Good.
no?
Yeah.
So just showing up. So that's my
Powerful one.
example.
Yeah, that is a powerful sharing.
Yeah.
Um, the thing is, I can really agree with you that for some reason, your question, my answer to that is also on that field about fitness. For some reason, I don't know, because the only way that we can enjoy
Mhm.
fitness is to do a lot of effort about it.
Mhm.
I don't know if there's any other aspect in our lives wherein if we are just doing it, we don't need to sweat, we don't need to. You've got to, how do you call it? Nothing worse comes in an easy way,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. And that's
Exactly.
what I
Yeah.
always keep on reminding myself whenever I need to go to the gym. It took me a lot of stresses, anxiety attacks before I decided to go back again to the gym last year, November. And I told myself it became difficult to show up every day, most especially to be consistent every day going to the gym because sometimes you just don't feel like it. And because it's the winter here in England is quite
Yeah. Yeah, it's
severe
difficult. No? It's severe.
sometimes. You just don't feel like moving at all. You just want to be a couch potato. But the thing is, whenever I'm able to fight that inner self, that inner voice from me saying, don't move, don't go
Yeah,
outside.
yeah, yeah.
Whenever I'm able to overcome that, it
Mm-hmm.
gives me a massive fulfillment to
Mm-hmm.
myself. And sometimes, regardless if I just went there and
Mm-hmm.
then did some, I don't know, maybe treadmill, few weights, and then swim, sauna. Even if it did not last for the entire 1 hour, maybe just 45 minutes, 30 minutes. I know it's short, but at least I showed up. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that's when I started to appreciate the consistency of showing up. It doesn't have to be perfect every day. It doesn't have to be very structured every day. You just need to see yourself showing up because it gives you this kind of fulfillment every day.
That's
But
true.
yeah, the struggle is to fight
Mm-hmm.
with your inner voice. So I think
You know
yeah.
what? In relation to that inner voice, I'm reading a book right now. The title is uh, "The Power of Agency." Like one insight there that stood out to me. Are you familiar with the concept of learned helplessness? So
No,
it's some
that's quite new to me. Come on, tell me about it.
So learned helplessness happens when you continue to face like bad things in life or misfortune. You think that the world is against you. So it like really dials up your victim mindset basically. So what these researchers found out according to the book, so they're two psychologists, was
Mhm.
that if you don't move, if you don't exercise, your feeling of learned helplessness or victim mindset, it grows stronger. So that is why they said that moving, exercising, working out, that is a powerful tool to reclaim your agency, your inner voice that believes in you that you can do everything and anything. So to me, like,
Wow, that's
like
powerful.
working out is a keystone habit. Like a keystone habit is a habit that affects something or almost all aspects of your life: physical, mental, emotional. So
Spiritual.
spiritual, yes.
Yes.
So that's why I think it's nice that we found these benefits from fitness, and it
Mm.
really translates not to other aspects or areas of our lives.
So the word for today is learned helplessness.
Yeah.
That
And there
is
there
powerful.
are studies about it. So maybe I'll send you a link about it later. My key takeaway is that if you don't move, if you don't exercise, it's something that your body tells you that you have, that it becomes stronger. So you feel pity for yourself. You feel like you're a victim all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Hmm. Can I quickly touch up on something I think
yes.
quite important and related about that
Mm,
um
topic, no?
that
Mm-hmm.
about yeah, about that concept because our job is in the corporate and we just sit there for the
Mm-hmm.
long hours. Most especially when I was in the Philippines, I was just working until I don't know what time in the morning. So I will go to the office at 8 and then I
Mm-hmm.
always finish at 3 a.m. sometimes, or sometimes
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to sleep in the
Oh,
office. But although it's not an everyday thing, it's only during the busy season.
yeah.
The fact that I was doing it and I don't have time to go to the gym in between, meaning I'm just sitting the entire time as soon as I get in I got into the office and then the moment I need to go back home. And I think for working for 3.5 years,
Mm-hmm.
my lifestyle before, I know for a fact that it contributed a lot in my condition right now of having endometriosis because I wasn't really active before. So whatever I consumed, which is Starbucks, I don't know, twice a day, the coffee, which has a lot of sugar anyway. It's like 70% sugar, 30% coffee. So I think there's no definite studies yet about endometriosis as of the moment, but a lot of warriors and the warriors sharing about it are sharing that sugar has a massive impact on it. And because the job is just sitting my job in the corporate is just sitting there in front of my laptop, whatever I consume, which is the sugar, I'm not sweating it out. So it just
Yeah.
is stored and stored and stored in my body. And Yes, it's one of my regret that if only I could go back to my
Mhm.
life before, maybe I should have taken care more of myself and maybe I will not have endo right now. But
Mhm.
everything happens for a reason.
Exactly, yeah. So
Yeah.
now I think you realized, and you're also blessed that you have this job, and
Yeah.
it's way better, no, compared to the Philippines, because I
Yeah.
also experienced that, like you, similarly, like when I was doing consulting. Sometimes I would go home like 3, 4 a.m.
Mhm.
and I didn't have like any movement or exercise as well. I think that also snowballs into like negative habits, no? So you intake
Mm.
lots and lots of sugar, so fast food because you don't have time.
Definitely. Yeah,
No,
yeah.
that's what happens. So it's like one negative habit, it snowballs into five or more
Inspiring
negative.
to more, yeah. And I think that's why I think fitness, it's not a one time thing.
Mhm.
You have to be consistent with it.
It should be
Like
a
for example,
lifestyle.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it should be a lifestyle. Like for example, maybe I lost weight 10 kilograms today. I need no, no, no. It's just for the sake of the argument that let's say I was able to meet that goal, but
Mhm.
tomorrow I'm going to eat maybe I don't know 1 kilogram of 1 kilogram of chocolate because I was thinking that I have this success yesterday. So I think that's where the discipline needs to comes in. You've got to keep on doing what you're doing. Not
Yes.
because you had this success, it means that you can just slack that much. Wherein you're doing the opposite thing of what's improving you before. So and yeah, that's something that I want to remind myself as well sometimes that I need to be consistent.
Yeah.
And sometimes whatever I want, I've got to force myself to do it
Mhm.
still. So the
And
balance between pilit and gusto.
exactly, no, exactly. And
Yeah.
I think like with consistency, I think for me, for the longest time, I've demonized myself with the wrong view of consistency. That
Yeah.
consistency meant to me before, like I have to show up 100% every day. That is
Yeah.
consistency. But no, no, there are days that you can only show up 10% or even 1%. But that 1% means consistency already. If you just show up
Showing
every,
up.
yeah. So
Yeah, that's really good. And I think talking about the consistency, can I just say as well how powerful it is sometimes to fight with your like you said with your demons.
mhm,
It's a small thing but quite fulfilling. You just need to be aware. That's why I think this kind of catch up of ours, what we're doing,
mhm.
because we're having this space to talk about our experiences before we are being able to remind ourselves like what have I learned from the past
Mhm.
moving forward after this episode. That is something that is a reminder to us, so hopefully those reminders are a help as well for our audience and listeners, but for ourselves alone this is really helpful, and I'm really grateful for my partner him all the way from Spain doing this
Yeah.
podcast with us.
Yes, I'm also grateful for
Yeah.
you, Rose, no, all the way from England, from Worcester, because yeah, I think this is just what I needed to,
Yeah.
that like these are like what they call like crutches or scaffolding for us to like really build the momentum of like being content creators, and I'm very happy that we have this.
True. And that's nice as well that we are being able to share what books did we read before. I remember the concept of accountability partner.
Mhm,
I've been reading that concept ever since from Jack Canfield's book.
mhm.
I forgot the title, but I'll quickly get the yeah.
Oh, I love that. Tell me a few things about the book.
It's really very detailed because I don't know how much effort he put into this, but this is for me like a very very good self-help book because with the concepts that he was highlighting, all of those are based on real stories around the world, from the simplest person up to the very known person. And it's
Mhm,
like every time I'm reading the book, which is episode by episode or sometimes page by page, it's like it's just a reminder to myself, and it's really good. Let me look at quickly the Yeah, so basically there's the fundamental of success, and there's a lot of topic in here. As you can see, it's 461 more
Wow.
pages.
Really about putting you in the right mindset, no?
In the right mindset,
Yeah.
basically, yeah, to transform yourself for success, build your success team, create successful relationships, success and money. Success starts now. And I remember this is the book where I first being able to be introduced to the accountability partner.
Nice.
He has some activities here, exercises that is doable, but because I was shy before,
Mm,
I think, I don't have that courage to ask someone, can you be my accountability partner? So that exercise alone, I wasn't able to do that. But it's still not too late to start over
mm.
again.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're starting it now by
Yeah.
having our accountability partner all the way from Spain. And I think it doesn't have to be in an in person accountability partner. If you have guys, friends all over the world, why not
Mhm.
do it as well?
That's true, eh? Like just someone that would hear your stuff that you need to do, and
Mm-mm.
maybe they could give you an input how to like do it better, no? So like
Yeah.
having an accountability partner aside from it gives you accountability, it also gives you that second person to help you refine your ideas or the way you want to do it. So to me, it's like a two in one kind of thing that is like really good, and it's not easy to find someone who has that same commitment as you do. And if you do find someone like Rose, for me, I think that is something that I value like in this journey. And like what you said, hopefully after our third year, wishful thinking, we could have like a look back to our first
Yeah.
episodes.
And
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong in envisioning what you want to happen from this moment. You just need to go on that moment by showing up every day.
that's
By
true.
showing, on our case, by showing up weekly.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay, so I have this, I think, intriguing question for
Mm,
you. How do you think Filipino culture
mm.
or maybe other life influences or may play their role into the balance of pilit or gusto?
So
Yeah.
I think especially with Filipino culture, our parents, the society that we grew up with, we already have preconceived notions, and we have like certain definitions of like what's success is, no? So like for example, for my parents, success means that I have a high paying job, I have a good title, it could be like doctor, engineer, accountant,
Yes.
lawyer, no? Those things, like if you're not working those professions, then you're not successful. So for the longest time, that's the script that I've been following. And like me, my content creation journey, the self-designed path, my goal is to like veer away from that path. I mean, I know a lot of people that it gives them life, it energizes them doing these traditional professions, but I know in myself that it's not for me. So that's why right now I'm like what Robert Frost said, no, I'm traveling the road less traveled. Yeah.
Yes.
How
And it's
about
a
you?
difficult part, but you just need to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Filipino culture has some massive role in this mindset of ours. As compared to what I was exposed in here in England, success doesn't have to be defined by what degree you finished,
Mm-hmm.
whether you went to college or not. It's just based on whether are you happy in your
Mm-hmm.
current life.
Yeah.
And seeing the parents here, regardless of what their children finished during in their studies, so long as they're seeing their kids happy, they're already happy.
That is
Their
true.
kids doesn't have to be an achiever in school. They
Exactly.
just need to be happy. And I think that's really powerful. And I want to be the kind of idea as well that I want to pass on my children. Because we, as an Asian kids, we did not have that chance to be just ourselves.
Yeah.
I think it's
To
one of our a lot of people might relate to this one, but since we were a child, we always needs to please our parents, to
mm-hmm.
notice us, to acknowledge us. by being the best in school, having
Exactly.
those awards, doing this and that, having the recognition. I just realized we've been a warrior ever since.
Exactly. Because like it's difficult in the Philippines. Not to add to that, that is a very important point. Like the Philippines is a highly comparative society. Starting
Mm,
from nursery and kindergarten, there are rankings already. But
true.
here I teach now at a school,
Yeah.
they don't have rankings. Like in grade
Really?
school, in high school, they don't have rankings. They just if you got a 10, which is like their 100, the teachers praise you, but rankings, like school, it doesn't revolve in rankings. But in the
Uh,
Philippines, it revolves around rankings. So like it's a
yeah.
totally different like environment for me. And I wanna bring up my kids. Like if I'm gonna have kids, I wanna bring up my kids here because here they
Mm.
prioritize the well-being, the happiness of the kids, no, the stuff that they want to do, as opposed to society's expectation like, oh, you're good at math, you should be an engineer. So
And I think that's why Asian people, specifically us Filipinos, when it comes to being forced or pilit,
mhm,
we're quite flexible with that
yeah.
because we are designed ever since we were a child. We were already designed to be forced just to get that approval,
Mhm.
that validation from our parents.
That is true, eh?
That hits home.
And I think, like our parents reminds us from time to time, but
Mm,
it's not just our parents or family, it's also society at large in the
yes.
Philippines,
Your
no? Like
friends, everyone
your
in school.
friends, your cousins, your family, like
Yes.
during family reunions, trust that it will happen that they would compare you to this cousin or to that
Yeah.
cousin, no?
Oh, your cousin is doing well. She's in
Yeah.
this. She's
Yeah.
earning this. What are you doing right now? It's always that template of conversation.
Exactly. Exactly. My
Oh,
God. It's like, oh my God, like looking back, like we were just kids. Why are you pitting us against each other?
yeah. And we did not know the difference until we arrive in the different culture that attitude is not normal and not healthy. But now that we know better, now that we are aware of it, it's good that we will break the cycle.
That is true. And that is the goal. That's why we're doing this, no? Like,
Mm-hmm.
we want to find our own thing that resonates with us, like emotionally, mentally, spiritually. And I think a lot of people right now are like moving into that. I know a lot of people because I also came from tech, who are also quitting tech because like they found that, it's like soul sucking, to be blunt about it, that like it doesn't, like it pays the bills but they feel empty inside.
Really?
And when I did the Camino de Santiago recently, I was talking to a girl. She said that she hated her job in tech. She wanted to quit it, but right now she doesn't have a choice because she doesn't want to, go back to her country, which is war torn right now. I'm not going to mention it, but she has no choice. So she said that I'm just thinking that
Bless
I'm
her.
doing this for my future self, for my
Yeah.
future well being. So she has a few more years before she gets the permanent residency. So she said she's gonna see it through and like just go through it until she gets the residency. And I think that is true, not just for her, for many people. And I guess we're lucky, we're privileged. Like I was in a like an in demand position, you're in an in demand position, so we were able to get these opportunities abroad. So and then it was easier for us to find out that, oh, like some of these things about the Philippines, it doesn't work with me, with my personal values, with my aspirations. And I'm just happy that we're privileged, and we want to pay it forward one day or another, because it's something worth sharing.
Yes, that's really powerful message. I'm quite curious about that event that you attended to.
Mhm.
Can you repeat that one and can you give us a brief overview of what that's about?
The Camino de Santiago.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Camino de Santiago, it's pilgrimage, no? So it
Okay.
originally is like a pilgrimage made by Christian people. So basically they hike all throughout Spain and you
Mhm.
end up at Santiago de Compostela, which is like a beautiful cathedral. It's majestic, but people do it when they have to make big life decisions, when they have to
Really?
break up with someone, when they have to do a divorce or they have to change jobs. So like me, I felt this like that I'm at a career crossroads right now because like I've been working in tech for the longest time, and there's an opportunity for me to go back to tech because I have the permanent residency in Spain right now. But a part of me, there's that small tiny voice inside me that doesn't want to go back because he feels that, it's soul sucking and it's not for us anyway. And that I was fortunate to have seen colleagues that whenever they talk about the work that we were doing before, I could see that they're energized about it and that they're excited about it. I mean, what I realized is that yes, I could do the work, but I didn't have that energy or like zest when I was doing it. So like the task for me is to find the work that gives me like that same energy, that same zest. So I think so in the Camino, what you do is you hike or walk 20-30 kilometers per day. Yeah. So I did that
And
for seven
it's all
days.
year long, whenever you need to do it.
Yeah, whenever you need to do it. So I did it like 2 weeks ago. No, because I didn't have work. So I think it was nice because it gave me clarity on the stuff that I need to do or that I need to try. So this is one of this. So, when you message me, hey, how are you? Like to me, that was serendipity. That, oh, like I idea because I just came from the Camino, and I had this like realization. And I also encourage you to do it because there are people
I
who do it
will.
for 3 days, and there are people who did it with their partner. So I think that's also a good way to do it. And there because you could do it in many ways, 3 days, 5 days. I met a person who did it for 60 days, like hiking for 60 days. Because what you do is after you walk 20-30 kilometers, you stay in a hostel. So I met a lot of people. I went there just to say that, oh, I'm going to reflect on my life. But that is like the unexpected gift that I got. I met new friends. And that girl that I was talking about, I think she just confirmed to me what I needed to do. She's just like a mirror of the situation that I was in. So, yeah.
That's really powerful.
Yeah.
And yeah, thank you for sharing that golden culture as well in Spain, because I did not know that there's something like that there. And I haven't been in Spain yet.
And
And I'm
um
looking.
I'm planning to do it every year. So I'm planning to do it
Really?
this year. And
That's
my
really good.
goal, what I'm manifesting to the
Mhm.
universe, is to do it with a friend next year. So maybe we do it,
Ah,
but
yeah, I'm really looking forward for that. And yeah, I think as a human, we
Mhm,
are really designed to be a problem solver as well.
mhm,
I mean, personally, when we have struggles, we always find way how
mhm.
to come out of it.
Yeah.
And it's a massive effort for everyone, us
Mhm,
personally, but there's a lot of tools, there's a lot of things to do,
mhm.
but you just always need to find the balance between, are you forced in doing it or are you not forced in doing it?
That's
Because
true.
if you will just keep on choosing one, you will end up not doing it and you will feel bad afterwards, or maybe doing it and you will feel worse afterwards. So I think it's a continuous choice. It's like you've got to do it. Like
Mhm.
you need to be aware that you want to do it. You have to do it. The balance between that. I think we can find beauty in that balance. It's
I think
difficult.
so. And
Yeah.
like relating to what you said, I think it's very important to say it that you said earlier that nothing worth having comes easy. I think you said that
Yes.
earlier. So like we have to do the hard things, no? So this is a hard thing, like putting ourselves out there. And that's what I also experienced with the Camino, because the Camino comes with the discomfort. But when you're in that uncomfortable environment, it brings you clarity. It brings to you what is important to you. So
Yeah.
I'm sure that in this journey of ours, we will have so much realizations, epiphanies about what we have to do, what we have to remove from our lives, So I think that's important.
Yeah. This is really, really such a good catch up with you about this topic.
Yeah.
And it's really, I don't know, we can just go on and on and on and on
No,
about
I
this.
know.
That concept is very, very wide.
Mm,
And yeah, I don't know, it's like because we have this space talking to each other about our experiences, what did we learn from those,
yeah,
and we are being able to share it to our audience. It's really such a good feeling that we are hitting two birds with one stone. We are
exactly.
reminding ourselves, and yet at the same time we are sharing it to
That
other
is.
people. Yeah.
And for you, Rose, like what's one thing you kept doing out of pressure, like not passion, that you're working towards, like not doing anymore? Like for me, I grew up as a people pleaser like all my life. So it's one thing for the longest time, it's the thing that I did out of pressure and
Mhm.
like pressure of like not disappointing people. But now that I'm learning more things that I realized that disappointing people, even my loved ones, is being human, no? Like if these people like they love me, they would know that I'm not perfect, that I would disappoint them from time to time. And it's a process for me. It's something that I'm still learning right now.
That's really powerful. I love that. And I do agree. That's my biggest, how do you call that, pilit as well.
Mm. Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, like you said, it's just we always want acknowledgement and validation externally. That's the fact. And I will not say that, no, I don't need anyone else validation. But the truth is, I do.
We do. We do.
The thing
Yeah.
is, it hurts even until now. It hurts me when people close to me are upset because I
Mhm.
did not do this or because I
Yeah.
did this. But how you put it all together earlier is really powerful and really resonating because like you said, we're just human.
Mhm.
Even if we do our best, we might still hurt people.
Yeah.
And we didn't even if we did not intended to.
Exactly.
And we're just human.
Yeah.
And like you said, instead of us being angry at ourselves, beating ourselves, why don't we just acknowledge the fact that we made a mistake or we didn't do this, say sorry. They might accept it, they might not, but for your own peace, learn from it and then forgive yourself, and then move on. I'm still struggling to not take things personally because it feels like my connection and my relationship externally is
Mhm.
really important in my well-being. But I know some people are saying your peace is yours, your peace is inner. But yeah, I mean, going back to our idea of balancing it, I'm trying to find the balance between the external validation and the internal validation.
And I think also for the longest time, I don't know if it's the same with you because I grew up in a family where making mistakes, failing is a big deal. We
Yes,
put so
that's
much.
an Asian culture.
Oh, no, so it's not
Yeah,
just it's the Asian culture.
yeah.
Yeah, because I remember that if I would make like an honest mistake and there are people around, my parents would get angry about it. And I think it's to me it's refreshing to see like here in a different culture, like seeing adults because I work with kids, like primary kids, seeing adults telling that oh you made a mistake, that's okay, that's all right, don't worry about it.
Yes.
But growing
Yeah.
now. So
I really agree with you. And I think that's something that I learned. I am really grateful about my partner here in England because his culture is helping me out with
mhm,
what I thought was the ideal setup before, like what you
mhm,
said, whatever failure that you will have, that kind of define you
mhm.
before.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
now here in England, because I'm living with my partner, he's the one who always reminds me that okay, you fail, you made mistakes, learn from it, and then move on. Don't sit down and get stressed or get depressed about it. It's at the end of the world. You can still improve from that. You can still learn from that. At least do not do it again the next time.
I love that
But
you brought up that your partner helped you, because it was also the same for me. Like,
Yeah.
of the things that I had to unlearn about failures and mistake, I'm lucky because of my partner as well. So we're
Yeah.
both lucky to have partners who, who are
Definitely.
helping us to embrace failing, making mistakes, which
Yeah.
is, if you'll think about it, it's like it's part of human nature, no? That we make mistakes, and the way that we grow is by making mistakes, by getting experience.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Perfect. Yeah. Yeah. That's true. You will not learn if you're always perfect. There's no
exactly.
growth. Yeah.
Exactly.
You've got
Yeah.
to stretch.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really good.
Mhm.
And I think a lot of expats will relate to this. Moving to another country, another culture will
Mhm.
really change you a lot.
Yep. Yeah, it will. And it
Yeah.
it does, no? Yeah.
That's
Wow.
really powerful indeed.
That is true, eh? That is true.
So, yeah, so to wrap up, because I think we will not stop talking about this. We have a lot of experiences circulating in this concept of pilit or gusto. And I think, yeah, this is quite relatable. A
Mhm.
vulnerable topic, but relatable as well.
Mhm.
So, I am interested to hear what our audience think about the pilit or
Yeah,
gusto, or being forced in doing something and not being forced in doing something. I mean,
exactly.
how are they finding the balance between that? Because that's the struggle. And we know that it's not ideal to just choose one side. We need to find the balance.
Balance between the two, because we need the two, no? To
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So we'd love to hear their sharings, their stories, if
Mhm.
they can share it with us, because I love to hear real stories.
Yep.
So yeah, and we encourage you guys to leave us your comments, messages, and then give us a follow, give us a like, subscribe in our channel,
Yes.
so you will be updated in our upcoming
Yeah,
releases as
because
well.
we would love to hear from you. I'm sure you could share like good insights, and we could also talk about it in the show. And if you have like any ideas of topics that you think we should talk about, just leave us a comment, send us an email, and we'll read all of your messages.
Yes. Can I say again, can I ask again, what's our word of the day?
Our
The one
word
that you
of the
mentioned
day
earlier.
is learned helplessness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
So
still trying to get used to that word. It has a very powerful message. But because it's really new in my tongue, it's just
I love that.
learned helplessness.
Yeah. And it's very nice to like reflect on it from time to time, no? Especially when you're doing something or when you're avoiding something, no? So,
Come on, keep on moving. Even if
yeah.
you're in a meeting, instead of just sitting down, if you have a standing
Yeah.
an elevating desk,
Yeah.
come on, move.
That's
Stand
true.
up.
That's true, eh? And like just one final thing, because I just read this part from the book last night. They found out that those people who move even a little bit every 30 minutes compared to those who doesn't move at all, like physically the difference in like getting like a chronic disease is significant. So like
Yeah.
just moving your body, maybe just stretching, it
Yeah.
gives your body like a huge benefit.
Yeah.
So that is like one like very basic benefits from it, like from moving. No,
Yeah.
so
You don't have to wait lifts,
and no,
everyone.
you
You just need to move. I mean, just
don't
move.
stretch. Yeah,
Yeah.
like
True.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why for today, after this one, I'm going to do Zumba.
Yes. Me too. It's my time to walk outside in nature.
That's
Yeah.
nice. Oh yeah, we love that.
Hmm.
Oh,
There's
this
also a
is
benefit to that. Eh?
yeah,
Maybe if
being in
next
the
episode,
nature.
because we won't finish.
Definitely. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm learning a lot from this episode as well.
Yeah. I love it.
So again, this is between tapas and
So we'll see you on the next episode.
bye everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Okay.